Well, my presentation this afternoon will, of course, follow what Benjamin has asked us to do, to answer a few questions. We will follow quite closely. But I think the question really is Singapore ready for clean and renewable energy? That's the question that hopefully at the end of my presentation, not so much for me to answer that question, but for you to have a better understanding and ask yourself that question, whether is Singapore ready for clean and renewable energy? Firstly, a bit about ourselves. What is EMA? Well, the Energy Market Authority, we are a statutory board under the Ministry of Trade and Industry. We regulate the electricity as well as the gas industry. And in some areas, like for example the marina area, we also regulate the district cooling system. Essentially what we do is that we ensure that the lights don't go off. Every night, make sure when you go home, the light stays on. And that's really our role. In addition to that role, which is very important, is that we want to promote competition in the electricity and the gas market. And we also want to maintain the security as well as the reliability of the electricity as well as the gas system. So essentially, why do we believe so much in competition? Because we believe that a competitive market will provide and deliver innovative energy products, be it renewable, be it clean, or be it conventional energy, and services at competitive prices. If you look at this particular chart, since the formation of EMA, for those who probably don't know EMA, we are actually from PUB in the past, right? So if you know PUB, we are the regulator now of PUB. If you look at this chart shows you the fuel oil price versus the electricity price. You can see that electricity price has increased by 193%. If you can read the figures, it's like $38 all the way to about $115 in July. And how has electricity price fared? Electricity price has increased, although it has increased, it has only increased by about 26% over the years. And it is a result of competition, because we want to ensure cost efficient in our system so that we can keep inflation at bay. As you know, today inflation is a huge issue. So the question is, would renewable and clean energy result in that kind of outcome? I think the question you may have to ask yourself. We believe that a competitive market will result in cost competitive pricing for you and I when we go home using electricity. Now, energy powers our economy and growth. All right. For that to take place, we need affordable and competitive prices, and not only that, we also need to secure supplies, making sure that we have sufficient energy. We believe that there is an international market out there, and because of that international market, we today can still buy oil, although oil is now hitting, well, it's gone down a bit by $10, I understand, back to $135. But there is a market out there, and we want to ensure that this international market continues to operate. So moving forward, how can we ensure this? I think we need to understand what's happening around the world. We are moving towards a more carbon-constrained future. And firstly, there is high and volatile hydrocarbon prices, and we are in the era of expensive energy. Secondly, of course, climate change and carbon risk, and some of the impacts of international emission obligations like Kyoto Protocol and so on our energy options. But the good thing is that because of high energy prices, because of climate change issues and concerns about greenhouse gases, it will result in the substitution of hydrocarbon. Not to the extent that renewable or clean energy will take over hydrocarbon, as some of the speakers mentioned. Likelihood to be in the range of 10, 20, or even 30%. But at least, with all these things happening in the world, there is an opportunity out there. So we need to start looking at our future options and alternatives now. And rightly speaking, we should want to take over as a first mover advantage. So what's available out there? There are lots of options: nuclear, coal, natural gas, LNG, hydrogen fuel cells, distributed generation, microgrids, even energy efficiency. Although energy efficiency is another topic which could present another roundtable of discussion. There's no single perfect solution. All right? For every energy option we adopt, there will be challenges. If you want to look at biofuels, there will be issues about food versus biofuels. Nuclear has safety issues, cost issues as well. So the key is really to keep our options open and to exploit the options, right? And to provide the appropriate enablers. I like to highlight this word enabler to secure our energy future. And the government has actually formulated the National Energy Policy Framework, which looks at how we can continue to grow Singapore's economy while safeguarding energy security as well as maintaining the natural environment. Within the National Energy Policy Framework, for those who want to have a look, a copy is available at the NTI website. There are 6 key strategies, but out of these 6 key strategies, the important strategy that is relevant to this afternoon's roundtable discussion is really building an energy industry as well as investing in energy R&D. In 2007, I think this has been highlighted, the National Research Foundation as well as the Research, Innovation and Enterprise Council has actually identified clean energy as a growth area. So the government has realized that clean energy is going to be a growth area and has targeted and has given itself a target to generate about $1.7 billion in value added, as well as 7,000 jobs by the 2015. And the government has also set up CEPO, Clean Energy Program Office. CEPO focuses on 3 key areas: cluster development, technology development, as well as internationalization. And I'll share some of these concepts with you in my next few slides. The government has also put a lot of efforts in research and development as well as test bedding. You have heard some of these programs, for example, the Clean Energy Research Program, which has been set up and allocates about 50 million to accelerate research and development into to support Singapore as to become a clean energy hub. Okay? And this research looks at various, focuses on various technologies. It looks at solar technology, wind, fuel cells, energy efficiency, as well as carbon services. We also have test bedding programs, the CERT, which allocates about 17 million, and the government has taken the step, for example, the PUB's Marina Barrage and the NParks Gardens by the Bay, that's under phase 1, as well as Singapore Polytechnic. Under phase 2, you have heard Tian Cheong's zero energy building, as well as HDB's eco precinct at Punggol called Treetops at Punggol. The A-Star has also set up, or is in the process of setting up, Synergy Centre. This is the first of its kind national R&D test bedding infrastructure. And it focuses on sustainable energy solutions to bridge the gap between research and cost-effective solutions at the marketplace. One of the key projects that A-Star is looking at is really to carry out research, test beds, and to understand what intelligent energy distribution systems are. As you know, today in Singapore, our electricity system is very much a centralized system where you have GENCOs. The concept of intelligent energy distribution system is really to decentralize some of these things so that one fine day, for example, if you have natural gas moving to your house, you could actually set up a mini fuel cell generator and generate your own electricity. So depending on the price of electricity and the price of gas, you can then switch whether to generate electricity yourself or to buy from the grid.